And coming up next on the BBC Late Hours is the latest edition of the Hutton Orbital Truckers. Oh, thank God for that. I thought that was a typo. Take it away.
Now, for those not familiar with what's about to happen, you're now entering a parallel universe. The following content does not represent the opinion of Frontier Developments, and any resemblance of people on the stage to employees of said company is purely coincidental. There's nothing wrong with your brain. Do not attempt to adjust your perception. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly, and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your brain. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the Hutton Orbital Truckers.
Deep in my Twitter.
Doesn't count a conning if you just hand it to me the last second. Somewhere above aboard a fleet carrier, somewhere in space, 3 tired commanders are heading for the bar.
Good to see you guys. Heading for a drink?
After the day I've had, you bet.
Why, what have you been up to, mate?
Well, don't tell anyone, but I've been doing a few heists, daylight robbery, that sort of thing.
Cool. I've just come back from Colonia. Been out there exploring. The Dysonator's never seen so much action. Even found some bacteria.
Give over. Don't believe it exists. I just get space loofahs and plants growing in suggestive shapes.
Mate, you've probably stepped in something without knowing it.
That's true. Anyway, what's up with him?
My prediction.
You don't mean...
Yeah.
You okay, mate?
Nah, I'm not okay. It was horrible.
What happened, mate?
I was just jumping back from a system and blam, strange noises. There I saw it.
What, Thargoids?
Thargoids.
You did escape though, right?
Not really. They didn't like what I was carrying. Next thing I know, I was surrounded by those little things they shoot out.
What, the duckers?
Hey, language. Oh, sorry, yeah, them. I thought they were Tharglets.
That sounds too soft, mate. I think it's duckers.
Then my ship shuts down. Next thing you know, skateboard time.
That's nasty.
That wasn't the end of it. Green goo everywhere. Green smoke, strange noises. And I was sucked up into this mothership.
Oh, that doesn't bear thinking about.
Then there was probing.
Oh, man. That's really nasty.
I took my pink plushie. I took my PlayStation controller. It said its name was Sally and I'd stolen them both. They even took my anime.
Oh, mate, that's just wrong. Let's get you a drink. Barman, excuse me, barman.
Afternoon, gentlemen. What can I get you?
Can we get 2 pints of Conga Ale and a Centauri Mega Gin Sling for our friend here?
Oh, I'm sorry, we don't sell drinks here.
I beg your pardon?
We don't sell drinks here.
Well, what's that in the fridge there?
What fridge?
And the draft taps?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, what kind of bar is this then if you don't sell drinks?
Well, I've got some nice settlement defense plans if you want them.
Rubbish. They don't exist.
Actually, you're right. How about a nice cat video? I've got lots of cat videos.
What about cocktail? You must have cocktails.
I've got cocktail recipes if you want them.
Guys, this isn't how it works. This isn't a barman. It's a pirate barman.
What's the difference?
Booty banter. Look, mate, I've got some carbon fibre plating.
A nice bit of shine, to be sure.
And a tube of paralytic catalyst.
Or even better, here's another.
And a cat video for you.
Is it the one where the cat Is it the one where the cat shoves its owner out the airlock?
Yep.
One cocktail coming right up.
Can I get a total rum with that?
Sorry, sir, we don't sell drinks here.
You're weird.
Look, you've heard the carrier's commander's got a drink cabinet in his ready room. Anyone got an e-breach kit?
No, but I do have more of these cat videos.
We'll bribe the security guard.
Thank goodness they're gone. Computer,
I'm sorry, what did you say?
if we're going to get this mission done, I need to get rid of these three.
For the sake of the ship and your safety, we should suck the atmosphere out of there and allow nature to take its course. They wouldn't suffer, it would be quick, almost painless. I'd recommend saving at least one of them, the canary.
The canary.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, you think we should just flush them out into space?
Are you aware of what happens to the human body once exposed to absolute zero?
Well, it's not exactly cricket, is it?
Thargoids? Thargoids. What are these rumors of a race, an alien race of insectoids? Are they alive? Long dead, friendly, or otherwise? Maybe these Thargoids are sleeping assassins, laying in wait. Whatever they are, we should make it our business to find them. They could be out there right now.
You're obsessed. I mean, those other two. Go to sleep. I'm listening.
Take your time.
Evening, not seen you in ages.
Sorry, I've been busy.
Inventing again?
Oh, yes. Brought the latest gear with me.
Some glasses.
Oh, these aren't just any glasses, they're combat glasses for when I'm on a planet.
Ah, tactical head-up displays, auto-targeting.
Even better. They let me see what's right in front of me when I'm walking about.
Forgive me for asking, but using your eyes tends to do just fine. How are these different?
They're virtual. Shows me everything around me in VR.
You do know you could just turn your head and look, don't you?
Let me show you. See? Glorious.
That's just a flat picture.
No, look, it changes when I move my head.
It's still a flat picture.
But look at it. It's stunning.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not denying it's a wonderful picture, but I'm not sure why you would want it.
It's for when I'm wearing my VR glasses.
Well, given that you've got no depth perception from that photograph, how do you shoot?
Easy. Like this. Bang.
I've been shot!
Okay, so I've not quite worked out the targeting, but...
No, I'm sure you'll get there. Look, the guy's bleeding all over the place, and it's 0G, so it's quite a mess. We'd better leave.
Hang on, let me turn my glasses back on.
Can't believe he shot me. Right, computer, it's time for Hutton Orbital Live. Whilst I'm not looking, I'll snaffle one of those mugs.
The Hutton Orbital mug. The perfect disguise for bourbon, right?
Thank you very much. Acting with William Shatner. That's made my day.
Made my day.
Accomplished. High five. Thank you very much. Right, ladies and gentlemen,
It is traditional on the show, before we move to the next bit, and we have to swab it all down because everybody's been a bit hot, to award prizes to those who have not done one of these radio shows with us before. Hands up, who hasn't got a Hutton Orbital radio mug?
Don't think I've got
Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. We will be 5. Oh, you've got a radio mug. Right, we will be sending you your very own Hutton Orbital radio mugs as a thank you for joining us on stage.
Thank you very much for having us.
And for acting with William Shatner, also known as Ryan. There we go. Which you didn't know.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
That was a special treat. Right, we have one more treat. Come on, chicks. Sally. Come here.
Sally's woken up.
Quick. No, you go on. We wouldn't dream of making Sally come in.
No.
There's a special treat just for Sally. For wrangling these guys
Is it a Thargoid?
onto the stage.
What we got?
What's happening?
Oh, wow, okay.
You don't have to come up, you can just accept it and kick him in the whatsits and put it. There we go.
Yeah, take it on video.
And guys, if you want, and we will swap seats while Sally's doing the thing, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Enjoy dinner. Right. It's a quick costume change. Quick, back. Pink mug. Ready? Are we ready? Go on, Flossie.
The unique pink Hutton Orbital mug.
But it was so obvious.
Right, chicks.
I've never seen anything so good.
Thank you. Shift that across again.
No, it's fine now.
Right. Can we move the mouse?
No seams in this show at all.
Yeah.
Maestro, are we ready? We're ready. Maestro, tune. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the newly resurrected, long-missed Hutton Live from LaveCon. For the next bit, I will be your host, Rudolph Hucker, and I'm joined here on stage by the ever-so-shy and retiring Harry Balsack in his swan song for the live show.
Well, I'm G-Bob happy. I'm looking forward to putting my feet up every Thursday and listening to you lot, inserting as many seams as you can into a single radio show. But for today, I'm still here and sitting next to the ever-so-excited Wilma Thingadoo.
I'm all the way over here. This is so cool! I get to see people. We never see people in the radio station.
Well, except for the green room week.
Littlebreaker and Aiden don't count.
I am so sorry, guys. I really am. You do count. But yeah, it's nice to see everyone. And that was Norma Snockers and Juan Care. And I'm the apology officer.
And these are the news headlines. It's official. Planet Earth has melted.
Techno-necromancy gone mad? It's alive!
Going for silver.
Olga and Eddie Lee Weiser.
Missing in action.
Are we in the presence of the future, man?
Global warming has long been a hot topic over on Old Earth, but recent reports are that it's got completely out of hand. Orbiting space satellites watching a certain small island somewhere in northern Europe have reported that not only has it got a little bit crispy around the edges, the middle's gone soggy. Things have melted, and the big needle on the temperature has most definitely gone into the red. There are reports that the residents of North Britain spontaneously combusted. Reservoirs have boiled, tarmac has turned to marmite, and this morning Milton Keynes actually caught fire. Visiting night shift commanders, some of them from Texas, are as usual measuring their temperatures in strange numbers, but reassuring everyone that this is mild for this time of year. Hutton's recommendation for situations such as this is to never engage silent running. Make sure you've got heat sinks aplenty, and of course a decent glass of Centauri Mega Gin on hand in a mug. It worked. I've even written you do that in the script.
Techno-Necronomicon. Not to be confused with the Techno-Comic-Con, which is a cyberpunk cosplay event. The must-read religious text for a reclusive sect of resurrectionists, soldering iron-wielding, wide-eyed scientists and engineers. Written in tongues, strange symbols and code is the how-to guide for keeping archaic technology running. Their annual pilgrimage to Lave Station happened to coincide with this year's event, and the berobed mysterious figures performed their ancient and much appreciated rites over the non-functioning silicon derelicts. With hieroglyphs and in a rapid tap-tap-tapping at the rubber keys, the head necromancer, Mr. Usher, proceeded to thoroughly unbadger the computers that control Hutton Orbital. It transpires that some oath, who shall remain nameless, was presented with the magic question, would you like an update now? To which we all know the answer is no, especially not before a Hutton Live at LaveCon. However, the fat-fingered oaf started a chain of events that took the docking lifts offline. Backflushed Cubicle 3, ejected the ship's cat, set off most of the sprinkler systems, which in zero-G is quite the most extraordinary sight, and probably massively ineffective, and caused sparks to shoot out the coffee machine. Hutton thanks go out to the maestro of all things digital, and a few that are analog, for saving the station from sure destruction, doom, and plummeting fiery death low below Eden's orbit.
With just 1 week to go, we are almost at the end of the current squadron competition phase and the end of Going for Gold 3, Hutton's current squadron exploration event. In a much better week for Carto data submissions, Hutton sailed from last week's 6th position in a late run on the inside rail, leaving the field standing and nosing ahead in first place, with over 12 billion points for 24 hours, until a temporarily shocked winged hussars, yeah, I see you out there, winged hussars noticed that they had their lead stolen and hurriedly rummaged down their crash couches for more Carto data to regain the lead. The last time the news team dared look at the leaderboard, they were a good 1.5 billion points ahead of Hutton. Their gold trophy assured. Or is it? 66 truckers have contributed data to the overall effort, with many more still out there yet to make their mark. If you want to see what's going on, go to the Going for Gold 3 events page at hot.forthemug.com/goingforgold. Montgomery Python had held the top spot for 3 weeks, with just over 3 billion credits, until Wednesday, when Commander Waller81 dropped an impressive 3.4 billion credits, narrowly edging Monty into second. However, Waller81's top spot was to be short-lived, as on Thursday morning, Commander Chips dropped 34 billion credits. Hang on. Is that a typo? Shouldn't that be 3.4 billion? No? Really? Come on, who writes this rubbish? 34 billion credits? That's ridiculous. Anyway, Guthwine is the 4th commander to step over the billion credit threshold, with Mia Harkness, Happy Moon Monkey, and Bam on the cusp. It isn't too late if you want to take part, but if you do, you've left it a bit late. All you have to do is have the Hutton helper running, download it from hot.forthemug.com. You need to be in the Hutton Squadron, that's as in HUTT, and you need to sell your cartographic exploration data before 7 a.m. on Thursday, 21st of July. Yes, this Thursday. You have 4 more days to get out there and get busy scanning.
Not only are we celebrating being alive and live at Lave this year, but special celebrations have been planned later this evening for one of the biggest celebrities to be found around Lave stations. Yes, Eddie Lee Wise, Tailor of the Stars Out Amongst the Stars, is 1 year older and is celebrating with an entirely new range of clothing for the older gentleman. Gone are the clothing lines from his youth, the flared trousers, the shirt unbuttoned in his navel, and the platform shoes, and in are reinforced gussets, deep pockets, and elasticated waistbands. The clothing range comes complete with built-in massage waistbands for soothing away the aches and pains of bending over all day, extra padded knees, and of course a built-in rem lock, just in case he forgets which corridor he's on and takes an unexpected excursion outside whilst looking for cubicle 3. It was a handy "Where the heck am I?" feature, whereby using a handy mobile communicator installed application, it will pinpoint where you are, tell you why you are there, and remind you that you did indeed shut the front door with the keys on the inside, and now you need to call for a locksmith. When asked for comment, Eddie, never want to miss an advertising opportunity, said,
I've been celebrating with my husband Ken and my wife Barbs, plus my sons and daughters, and we've had far too much cake. Hence the elasticated waistband in our new clothing range. Comfort, only from Eddie Lee Wise and Sons, plus my daughters.
Happy birthday.
About this time in the evening, we look out into the crowd, looking back at us. The LaveCon Green Room, or maybe it should be the LaveCon Orange Room. And we look through the list of commanders who haven't made it to LaveCon. Like Remplep, who was arrested for loitering in the docking area, or the Mad Monks of Van Manen's Star, Messrs Girdler and Girdler, who were incarcerated for their bad habits. Then there's the maestro of docking darts, Commander Splendor. He's off being a pirate. Then there's Ragnar, who, due to rampant inflation, airstrikes, and having something better to do than be at LaveCon, wasn't here. All of these are very thin excuses, and they don't wash with us. Of course, there's Even Star. He's got the mods. We had a video call with him earlier, and he looks rough. He's been using the Hutton mug. He hasn't been using the Hutton mug enough. And as we haven't started the Too Hot Too Messy campaign to inoculate the entire galaxy with mugs, again but more thoroughly, we're left exposed to the depredations of this terrible disease. Or Hober Mallow, who has come down with the ginger strain of mods, which means he's highly contagious. We're hoping the calamine lotion helps keep him calm. There was, of course, a sigh of relief when Jester D stated that he was staying at home this year. Not because we don't love him, because we do, but for the first time in many years, those people entering the raffle have a chance of actually going home with a little swag. Suffice to say, there are people who haven't. These are the people who haven't made it to LaveCon. Those who have, it has been great seeing you. But don't forget, next time when you decide you're washing your hair or you've been far too busy to turn up, as you've been taking out the trash or painting your nails, remember, Taran got here and he travelled 4,000 miles.
And finally, for this news bulletin, we bring you news from the future. In a stunning piece of one-upmanship on the galaxy, Spider-Mind Systems have actually invented time travel. Daffy Greenfellow of Spidermind has come back from the future, and not content with making his fortune in the future, using a copy of the Galnet News Digest from the years 3300 to 3320 to make his fortune betting on the results of zero-G ice hockey competitions, has come up with new ways to empty everyone's pockets and leave them feeling good about it. He actually invented ice, with the kind of magical prognostication that normally fills ancient tomes and comes with dire warnings about the future. Using the power of time travel, he predicted that just this very weekend, the most valuable commodity in the galaxy would be ice. Okay, so along with the rest of the Spidermind Systems team, they also invented the perfect little table for events like LaveCon.
Not just any table. It's a table for your table. Tabletop gaming will never be the same again, as your tabletop's your standard tabletop, and stops your standard tabletop game from being ruined by tipple washing over your top. Standing on cute little legs, the level up lifts the level up a little so you can place your board on board and keep the tabletop that's under for things that you don't want on the top.
It's as if they all knew exactly what an event like this needed in advance. We can't wait for their next piece of futuristic predictive premonition, but in the meantime, they made a few good books to keep us going.
And we are back in the studio. Thank you very much to my co-presenters and to our special guests. Everybody give the team from not Frontier, because they definitely weren't Frontier, a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much to the marvellous Beetlejuice for the loan of a couple of pictures. They were awesome. And we're going to get on with the show really, really quickly. But before we do, it's traditional to check Frontier live stream. Come on, checks.
Oh, was there one?
Was there?
Well,
it was earlier.
I believe so. You all watched it in the garden on.
Yeah, I was sleeping. Yes. All right, okay. Was it fun?
It was hot.
Excellent. That's what we like. Right, Amelia, your first time on stage live with Hutton Orbital. I mean, you've done live for a couple of years, but your first time live in person.
First time in LaveCon, first actual Elite Dangerous event.
Woohoo! Come on, Flossie. You've got some CG news for us, special CG news in a minute.
Yes, I have.
Excellent. And the apology officer, have
Yes.
you been scouring the event for those people who are up for sports awards from LaveCon?
Well, we didn't need a lot of scouring. It just kind of
fell in your lap.
It just fell in my lap, really.
And of course, before we move on, this is the very final Hutton Orbital Live for the gentleman sat to my left. We will discuss this later. He's in detention now. But, yes, this is your final live. Final script.
Yes.
Final button pushing.
Yes. I didn't know I was going to be pushing the buttons, but I am, yes.
You're going to quit, that's what happens. Right, so other than that, we've got more of the show. We are being joined shortly by Commanders Witherspoon and Beetlejuice. Woohoo! But first, there's a theme tune.
There is.
Take it away.
When the universe is in trouble, bug infestations in the bubble, your home station's burned rubble. What on earth can we do now? Interstellar initiatives. Let Flossie tell you what it is, then you can get involved with this. You should listen to what Flossie says. Interstellar initiatives. Flossie tells us what she thinks it is, then you can get involved with this. Now you should listen to what Flossie says.
Aardvark.
Last week's CG ended just short of tier 5. And it's being cut off at the bottom, so I can't read it.
It's on screen, Oh, here we go.
On screen, it's on screen.
Zoom. There we go.
Yeah.
Finish, there we go.
Right. Finished with nearly 500,000 tons collected. Top 75% and above receive silver on black paint jobs for the Crate Mark II, Eagle and Further Lance. Special LaveCon CG launched yesterday. As the Pilots Federation presence increases in the Lave system and an infrastructure failure strikes the air conditioning units, local pilots have put out an urgent appeal for aid deliveries to be brought to LaveCon in the Lave system. Commanders are requested to head to the nearby bar and procure refreshing drinks for delivery to the main event room. Be warned that local faction states, including the barman is quite overworked, they've run out of real ale, and there's quite a queue in the docking area, might affect your ability to fully load your ships with beverages. Supplies of Garazian Guise beer, Conga ale, Centauri Mega Gin, Indie Bourbon and Levin Brandy will count towards this CG. The top 10% of contributors will receive a sore head in the morning. The top 50% will experience banter, board games and the company of good friends. And all contributors will be having a jolly good time. The campaign began on Friday the 15th of July and will run for 3 days. The final target will not be met before this point. Should all the beer be drunk before the final day of the CG, the event will end immediately. There are 3 other CGs this week. As none of us here will be contributing over the next 2 days, as we're all too busy, I won't bother you with the details, but you can find them on the Hutton Events pages on Facebook or the CG subforum on Galweb, also known as the Frontier Forums. I think 2 of them have something to do with Thargoids, guardians and delivering shiny things. The other one is a combat one, and as everyone knows, I don't do combat unless it's on foot and with a rocket launcher or a pan. So I'm not telling you about this one. And that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossie told you what to do. Now, before we move on to our next segment, there is something special that we forgot about, didn't we?
Did we forget? Oh yeah, well, it's Commander Palantir's very last show. He's retiring.
He was adding. No, not that one.
Oh no.
No, the fornication going on the front of the table here. Flossie, whenever we do the show and we have a bit of banter, we want to move on, ready for, I don't know, Wotherspoon Beetlejude or you. There's a safe word, isn't there?
Yeah.
There is a safe word. And you're not very happy with the safe word. We thought we'd help indoctrinate you a bit better into our favourite safe word. So we've got a present for you.
All right.
It's an aardvark. And you're right. We have your own little aardvark never hurt anybody bag.
One of these.
But not just that. What's in the bag, Flossie? Please do tell the audience.
In the bag, away.
Just in case you don't love aardvarks enough, we have my spirit animal is an aardvark, just for Flossie.
And an aardvark colouring book for adults.
So, if you're ready,
I don't know where I'm supposed to go. He told me to go over here. So I went over here.
Swapsies, right.
I've got no clue.
Judith needs the stream deck, which is where David is sitting.
Yeah, we do that one.
Microphone is live. We're heading seams. And before we move on to you two and push the button, Flossie,
yes?
Just in case you haven't got the message about the safe word, what is it?
Aardvark! Now it's time, if we can find the right button, to be flabbergasted by the goings-on in the galaxy as perused in a freshly ironed copy of the Galnet News Digest by the gentleman's gentleman, if not quite disgruntled, but very far from being merely gruntled. Here are Beetlejeeves and Worcesterspoon.
Seems, oh no.
Advert. Seamless.
Is it on?
It is on now, yes. It's never difficult.
Imagine there wasn't a gap.
There wasn't a gap.
There wasn't a gap.
Time has shortened.
Yeah.
Judith is about to start.
I shall begin. Galnet News Digest, 16th of July, 3308. We read the news, so you don't have to.
And in this week's news, we're going to bore you silly.
Over the past year at Galnet News Digest, we visited loads of exciting war zones. Is that the right one? That's not the right one. It's that one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know numbers. Covering all the big news stories and still had time to enjoy ourselves. Here's our very special slideshow. We expect you to pay attention and express your amazement and envy, because that's what holiday slideshows are all about.
Way back in July 3307, we were there when the Blue Viper Club dredger turned up outside Como City. Didn't turn out too well in the long run, but back then it was all about the marketing of Onion Head Gamma Strain, or Helix, as they called it. After a failed coup attempt against Pirate King Archon Delane, the dredger has recently had to disappear again.
Who can forget the excitement when the NMLA turned against their own people and bombed 2 Marlinist starports with the loss of tens of thousands of lives? We were there, and we got this lovely selfie outside the burning Tillman Point starport. In the High D's sector, RO-P, B6-6, it was total chaos inside, of course. The Marlinists were going to rename some of those systems to remember their shared history, but the folk in charge of the Universal Cartographics don't seem to have got around to updating the maps yet.
So in September, the Cornsar system was attacked by Thargoids, after Salvation apparently lured them in using Guardian materials. Once again, there were tens of thousands of casualties. But doesn't the burning station make an excellent backdrop for our holiday photo?
And a week later, we went to visit some of the quaint Thargoid wrecks on the landable planets in Cornsar. It's perfectly possible that the landing restrictions were relaxed to allow the stricken Thargoid interceptors to crash on planets with thicker atmospheres too. We won't know until we're also allowed to land on them, hopefully soon. I don't know if you can see, but there's a cute little Thargoid sensor in the picture there. You need to be a bit careful around them. They're quite toxic, as we found out.
In December, the big story was Theta 7 blowing up the Thargoid megaship, Sacrosanct, killing himself and tens of thousands of Thargoid botherers. We were there, and what a spectacular sight it was. The megaship was scattered all round the system in little pieces.
In January this year, we were there for the rollout of the new starports along the Colonia Bridge. This is what the starports look like before any of the services have been added. They chose some lovely locations for the starports, didn't they? We didn't realise that the restaurant wasn't open yet. To be honest, it was a bit of a building site. Still, it's turned out all right in the end, hasn't it?
Do you remember when we all found out that Emperor Orissa had been missing for a year and nobody had noticed? The NMLA had installed a cardboard cutout on the throne that was apparently about as animated as the Emperor. Anyway, they got their comeuppance when the Empire attacked them in Summerland and wiped out all the mercenaries. The Lords of Restoration were arrested, but they haven't yet been charged, tried, or sentenced. Sometimes the narrative moves on without all the loose ends being tied up.
To be honest, we were a bit cut up about Jade Sandlin of Vox Galactica getting the interviews with the admirals in Didio Novas and Sosong. We'd have loved to have had that opportunity. Still, we went and looked at the ships where the interviews were taking place. These Imperial interdicts are a lot bigger than you think, you know.
In June, the artificers turned up in Upaniklis, and they decided to repair and upgrade the generation ship Golconda. It all went so well that most of the folk rescued from the Golconda decided to hop back on board, and they vanished into the wild black yonder, for now at least.
And now we're nearly up to date. The most exciting place to be in the last few weeks has been HIP 22460, with its permit-locked Thargoid sites, the Azimuth site Fort Ash, the 3 capital ships, and 2 of Azimuth Biotech's megaships, as well as a growing number of Thargoids. But the must-see location in HIP 22460 is the well, you know, they are the bad guys. Flight megaship Overlook, with its scenic, toxic Thargoid clouds and a lovely view of the nearby planets. Of course, tens of thousands of crew died when the Thargoids attacked the megaship, but you've got to be there to see how spectacular it is. We definitely recommend it as a vibrant and happening holiday destination.
And that's this week's LaveCon Live. Hutton Radio Live. Galnet News Live. Live News Bulletin.
Galnet News. We read the news live, so you don't have to. I pressed all the buttons.
Thank you there to Beetlejeeves and Wotherspoon. And what an unusual experiment, including your blooper reel in the body of the article. Well done. Well, never has my gasp been so flabbergasted. So Aunt Agatha would be so proud. Time to find out who's been overachieving at what. Over to the Hutton Helper results with Mia Harkness.
Welcome to the Hutton Helper results. The Hutton Helper results are sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with a free eau de mouffe fart in a bottle for that authentic LaveCon experience. This week we have the following events. The return ticket from Beagle Point Shield, which goes to Commander Taran for travelling the furthest distance to be at LaveCon. The most pints delivered to a single faction, Deja Vu Trophy, goes to the hotel bar staff, who kept Hutton Truckers hydrated last night. The Black Ops Special Mission Award goes to Dead Meat GF and his Kendall Mint Cake. If you know, you know. The most things hung in a single gantry, wait until Norris McWhirter hears about this award, goes to Cow and Moof for this. The Pew Pew Demolition Derby Award for most extrication, most destruction caused at LaveCon goes to original King Hanky and his phone, which he used as a hockey puck earlier today. The most bodily substances in a single McThargoid's meal goes to the Beyond Dockers crew. So that's a decal for the Hutton bar staff. The rest of you didn't bring his drink, so, you know. Oh, and I believe this just coming in, I'll do that. This just coming in, it has been rumoured that King Hanky was beaten by Steak Garrido at chess today. So, decal for Bruce Garrido as well. Yes. So the bar staff and Bruce Garrido should email I took part at huttonorbital.com and arranged to collect their Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of Edelweiss's thong, a radiation suit, chef's special sausage, and a packet of Flossie's Woodbines. She's off them now. There's a whole galaxy out there, a whole galaxy of stuff out there needing shipped, shot, rescued, looted, repaired, destroyed, bought, sold, squeezed, inflated, burnt, frozen, liquidated, evaporated, sandblasted, sponged down, smelled, licked, extruded, discombobulated, recombobulated, rubbed, compressed, enveloped, siphoned, regurgitated, strained, fermented, something else did, upcycled, violently downcycled, and probinated. Also, you can earn yourself a very fetching Hutton decal for doing it. To get involved, you just have to go to hot.forthemug.com and download or sign up for the Hutton Helper, now available in 3 exciting formats. Let's face it, anything has to be better than trying to seat within 10 rooms of Dave Pearson, the one-man sinus. Anyway, that's it from me. Back to LaveCon.
Thank you very much to the apology officer, and well done to all those people who've won their decals. Do not forget to email in or you won't get them. Right, as is traditional on this show, we have an outing from the Galnet Rares Digest coming up. Now, rather than doing one of the remaining rares, dodgy stuff like, I don't know, go in Dance Dust or... No, we've done that one, haven't we? Yes. Yeah. What is it? The Matrona Experience Jelly probably coming up soon. Amelia chose to revisit A Blast from the Past from the 10th of July 2021. I think it was.
Jesus, was it that long ago?
It was that long ago, yes. With one of Amelia's very own favourite rares. So, are you ready?
Ready? Press the button. Good evening. This is Amelia Hawke, reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest. We try all the galaxy's rarest and most dangerous commodities, so you don't have to. Tea, often touted as that most English of drinks, or part of ceremonies that go back millennia in parts of old Earth regarded as the East. Tea has become synonymous with calm, of quiet contemplation, of that pause between layers in bricks of the wall, of 2 sugars, leave it until it's strong enough to eat the teaspoon, of tea cakes and afternoon tea, high tea and reading tea leaves to tell your fortune. You can't have instant tea. That's an abomination. Proper tea takes time to get right and time to savour. A rare this week, in some regards, no different. Fresh buds plucked from the Camellia sinensis tea plants of Aethgris are some of the finest in the galaxy. Processed as with any other tea infusion, if left to oxidize, it makes a strong, golden builder's tea. If stored in such a way as to prevent rapid oxidization, makes a fine, calming green tea that's perfect for soothing the nerves. Also, as with tea from old Earth, it can't be grown just anywhere. It can only be found and harvested in the Aethgris system. And the price tag is eye-watering. Buy it in system and you'll be parting with enough cash to buy a Sidewinder for just 1 sealed canister of it. Buy it further away and you'll be paying anything up to the cost of a Cobra Mark III. Aethgris bud smuggling has become a hobby for many a pirate attempting to get away with not paying the duty. There is one word I neglected to include in the name of the plant above. It's not just a Camellia sinensis plant, it's a carnivorous Camellia sinensis plant. Think carnivorous plant, and you'll immediately think of the dangerous pitcher or Venus flytrap, or any number of wily members of the plant world that lie in wait for an unsuspecting fly or beetle to fall into its clutches. Not so in this case. Aethgris tea plants are anything but sedentary. They're semi-sentient and unique in the plant world by being fully mobile. In fact, not just fully mobile, they run. Long, fibrous, tentacle-like legs uproot in the spring, and these tea plants actively hunt down their prey, running them down on the plains of Heathgrease to entangle and then devour them with viciously barbed mouthpieces at the top of their stems. Not only that, they scream as they run, almost as if with some perverse pleasure they set off at an ear-splitting screaming run, causing animal life to scatter in fear as they're relentlessly hunted down. Harvesting the tea is then a challenge. You can't kill the plant, as that ruins the flavour. So the trained Heathgrease bud pluckers pluck up their courage, stand to one edge of a field of dozing tea plants, and prepare for a round of skins versus bark bulldog. Sprinting from one edge of the field to the safety of the fence on the other side, they attempt to pluck a bud from a plant as they pass, then make it to safety without being caught and devoured. An enraged, recently plucked Heathgrease tea plant is an angry sight indeed. One stumble, one misstep, and you're in danger of becoming its latest meal. The species is protected, meaning that if you're caught, you can't fight back. It's a toothy green end for you. Make it back with a handful of buds, and you're hailed as the conquering hero, and then told to go and do it again. And again. There are old bud pluckers and bowed bud pluckers, but very few old bowed bud pluckers. One torn hamstring, one pulled groin muscle, and you're out of the game. But if you're fit and wily and have your wits about you, in an afternoon you can make a small fortune. If you're not, well, they'll sing songs about you around the campfire. This is Amelia Hawke reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest with a lovely cup of tea in one hand and my gaze firmly on a computer screen of the harvesting ground. As I sip my tea, and delicious it is too, I can see a fine, athletic-looking specimen clad in nothing but a loincloth preparing to make their first run through the field. Oiled, to make them harder to catch, they've got a pouch at their belt and have taken the standard sprinter's pose at the starting line. And they're off! They've made it to the first plant without being noticed, and yes, they've grabbed a bud and they've set off at a fair old pace across to the next plant. The plant is in hot pursuit, tendrils lashing and grabbing at him. Oh, he's made it to the second one, and a cheer has grown up from the crowd as he vaults over a root ball onto his next. The entire grove of tea trees now has their attention on him, and, well, discretion being the part of valor, he's heading for the safety of the fence. But, wait a second, I can see his shoes. Ah, yes. Oh, he's left his laces untied. He's gone sprawling! Oh, dear. Oh, he's been grabbed by the bush. What a sight. It's heading for the rest of the grove to catch up and... all right, that's horrible. They're pulling him limb from limb, chewing on his dismembered body parts. Well, you know what they say, a bud in the hand is worth two on the bush, especially when the bush has teeth. I've seen this spectacle, so you don't have to, but for some reason I've utterly gone off this cup of tea. Has anyone got some coffee?
You know, when we did that first time, you did manage to stuff up some of those words. You've been awfully clean this evening and not said the naughty words.
You've let me drink.
No, well, yeah. See, when we put it up on YouTube, it said the one where Amelia said far too many naughty words as the subtitle.
Are we not? We're not.
She'd never say budfucker, would she?
No. She definitely.
Katie said it, not me.
Definitely.
I did not break the rules
Definitely
here.
no bud pluckers, but no. Yeah. Anyway, we're harmed in the making of that report, and that's your first live Galnet Rares Digest.
Yeah.
More next week?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. Right, we've got two more things to do. Three more things to do. We do have one person to speak to. Unfortunately, the person forgot that he's not supposed to be sitting in the back of the hall somewhere. Come on, Taran. Right. as you've travelled so far, we are going to quiz you terribly. Have we got the microphone? Could you grab the microphone for Commander Taran there from the little prong thing? Commander Chicks. Now, do you want to check? Is this thing live?
Let's hope not.
No. For the mug. So there's a switch.
Switch.
Clicky switchy.
How about now?
Right. Now, Commander Taran, you have travelled all the way from the night shift to join us for this LaveCon Live.
Absolutely.
You have. And you said it was 4,000...
661 miles.
Light years.
Yeah. Well...
Light years?
Yeah, okay, fine, light years.
Yeah, fine. And what vessel did you... I mean, with Beluga, Dolphin, you were in the Type 6, all the way here? Not a Mamba, I mean...
I'm pretty sure it was like a Sidewinder.
Okay, that explains why. And you landed in North Britain?
No, Scotland.
North Britain. North Britain. Scotland ceased to exist. Scotland ceased to exist in the 3300s. It's now called North Britain. Yep. And you landed up there. You've been touring the top of the country.
I've been touring castles
and castles, and a few more castles. And so we understand, obviously, the weather in Canada, where you're from, is not as hot as this right now.
Right now it's about the same temperature.
So it's your fault.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow and come Monday, that's a different story.
Okay, fine. Well, look, it's, thank you so much for coming to visit us. Thank you for not blowing up everybody here, destroying them. As the commander on the Hutton Helper 2 event, the first billion credits in bounties. And the second billion, and the third billion. And falling asleep with Cecil at the helm.
That only happened once.
And Cecil messaging everybody on your comms for you because you'd fallen asleep. Yes. But look, thank you so much for coming to join us.
Vandion, I just wanted to let you know, I kind of heard about, our going for gold issue, and some people look rather smug over there. So
PvP is authorized.
No, I may have just posted on the Hutton Facebook group that there is going to be a night shift class and some bottle openers, should we manage to surpass them again before the end of it, going out to some random commanders.
So more swag for Commander Chicks, yes?
Yeah, well, going out at random.
34 billion in one drop, man, for goodness sake. Right.
72 last time.
72 billion? Last time? Okay, gold is ours, guys. Give up now, okay?
And with that, for the mug.
For the mug!
Taran's not the only one to fall asleep.
Oh, dear. Now, having handed out some prizes this evening, and being the swan song of a gentleman to my left here, it is traditional.
Careful, I can break your arm with my
unless your name is Cal at Hutton Orbital, to be given some kind of retirement present to see you until your old age.
I went for the very traditional retirement gift of a golden cock that you can put on his mantelpiece and show to anyone who comes to visit the house.
So can you just repeat that again for me?
What?
What did you say?
A golden cock?
No, clock.
What?
You're supposed...
But
I said clock.
Shit.
Would you like to go and visit the apology officer to receive your Hutton golden
Can I just say
cock?
that I hope these retirement gifts bring you many hours of pleasure?
It's pleasure by myself.
Yeah. Oh, right, I'll hold that.
Hold that.
Yep. Fell for that line before.
Let me do this.
Yeah. Look at it.
There's my cock. It fits in my hand.
And you lot thought it was something else, didn't you? You've all got dirty minds.
Yes.
It's not as big as I was led.
You have your very own Hutton golden cock.
Yeah.
And my very own...
Yeah. Small but perfectly formed.
Commander Palantir has said, before we are done for the end of the show, he would like to say a couple of words.
Pass the cock to the cock.
Don't forget your cock.
Yeah, don't
forget that cock.
Chalk.
Well,
cock and chalk.
It's been about 3.5 years I've done this, and I've had a blast doing this, and I've done it all to help every. Yeah, but and then another couple. It's been fun for all of this time, and I've done it for the audience. I've done it for myself, but of course, it's all been for the mug.
And that's a wrap.
Mics are clear.